Here is how you can use Animation Master to prepare your Facebook 3D posts. Thanks to Matt Campbell for pointing out this new feature, because we all need more things to spend time with Facebook on. I have loaded a scene that I made. It has an assortment of objects in it, near and far. And what I will do is I'm going to go up to Render, and for my format, I'm going to choose OpenEXR from this list. The save options are compression settings. I just picked zip compression for that. For my range, I've picked just one frame for start and end because I just want to render one image. For my resolution, I'm going to pick something fairly small because I figure people are probably just looking at this on a cell phone anyway. And then down under buffers, I want to make sure that depth is on. And we can leave the others off. For the render options, use whatever it is that you found was suitable for your image when you were authoring it previously. These are the settings I ended up with for this image. Just to make this faster, I'm going to make it a 5-pass multipass. And I forgot to choose a name for this thing. I'm going to call it Handcar FB for Facebook for this test. And I'll hit OK to render, and it'll go off to start rendering. And we're back. Here is what the rendered scene looks like. I'm going to close that out, and then I'm going to go to my images folder, right click on that, and re-import that image that I just rendered. And this is it here, Handcar FB32.exr. If we expand this to look at it, we can see a thumbnail for the image that we expect, and then here's the depth buffer, which appears to be blank and white. I'm going to go up to the images folder again, right click and do new composite, and that creates this composite project which looks like a blank image, and I'm going to drag this depth buffer onto the composite. And now if we double click on this composite, we can open it and we can see indeed this image looks like it's got nothing in it. The reason is that this depth buffer is a record of how far it is from the camera to whatever is behind this pixel, each particular pixel in the scene. And since most of those distances are larger than 1 centimeter, they will be recorded as numbers larger than 1 and will appear as white in this visual representation of the depth buffer. But there is information there. It turns out that we can right click on this depth buffer here and do insert post effect, hash ink, and choose tint. And now see, suddenly it's starting to look like there's some detail here. If I click through here and turn this on, it bubbles through and we see now the values that were in that all white depth buffer have been crunched down into the visible range. And we can see that black is for near and white is for far away. That turns out to be exactly the opposite of what Facebook wants. Facebook wants white to be near. So it just also so happens that in the properties of tint, there is a style. And if I choose as my style X-ray, it's going to invert those gray values. So now white is near and black is far. We need to save this out. I'll click on composite and do save as animation. I'm going to choose as my file format. Apparently PNG is what they want. So I'm going to get rid of that frame number that was in there. So I just have Handcar FB and then put in underscore DEPTH and choose as my file format PNG. And I will save this. We also need to convert our regular color version of this to PNG. So I will right click on that original EXR render that I imported and also do a save as animation. Again, I'll choose my file format of PNG. I'll get rid of this frame number here. Oh, look at this. When I saved that depth buffer, it thought I was trying to save animation because that's what it normally does. I want to get rid of that 0 that's there. And this image I just want to have without the underscore depth extension at all. So I'll save this out. And now I can navigate to the folder that contains those images here, my FB and my FB underscore depth image in PNG format. And I can navigate to Facebook, my Facebook page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag these both as if I were making a post. I'll hold on the Shift key, drag these over here. And we'll see if it, there, it's creating a 3D photo. And there we go. If I wave my mouse over it, we get a little bit of parallax perspective. This looks a little bit fuzzy. I probably should have rendered this higher than 640 by 640 by 640. Maybe a higher resolution would have been in order for this, but it does work. And then you can hit share and post that to whatever audience you want. So there, it does work. I'll note that the first time I tried this, Facebook just froze and I had to restart my browser. So it's possible you might have to do this more than once to get it to work. But the basic process does work. Now you can revive all your Animation Master projects and models and make Facebook 3D photos out of them.